was going to quickly explain how to change it.
Welcome, everyone, to this
Hello.
week's episode 7. Sorry, can't talk. I hope everyone's doing well. How's everyone doing?
Pretty
Good,
good,
good.
pretty good.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Doing okay, except for the headache.
Get some water.
Yeah, I have a big bottle and some Gatorade just to help.
Perfect.
Gatorade's actually doing a lot better than anything else.
We are down a person, Nikki, who plays Minerva. So she will technically be back on the ship, kind of seasick, which Belle is going to keep an eye on her. The little spirit thing. We don't know what it is. I know, they don't. So let me catch everybody up. This past Friday, we did a one-shot. And these lovely people actually got to pick some lords and ladies, a countess, a duke, a duchess. And now they are technically in our world. What happened is that they got invited to a party which all the nobles attend to, or they end up going, to another time, which they all got to go. And sometimes this will conduct businesses across different lands, and so forth. One of them, in particular, belongs to a certain, well, I shouldn't say belongs, but is the father of Victor, who actually joined. As they continue to talk and everything, well, to sum it up, there were sacrifices to Cthulhu. So Cthulhu is on the table now, somewhere out there. That was this past Friday. Now, last week, our lovely ladies and gentlemen embarked on the Wind Dancer, the ship. They had some nice growth between the characters. And also they got to meet the captain. How they met the captain? Well, during a fog, there was a shipwreck. These fine people got out to see who was out there, what's out there, and ended up finding a unique creature in a bottle. They found a young boy, and they found out who attacked, or maybe they got attacked. The Red Hand. The Red Hand is a feared pirate that nobody wants to mess with. The boy that they picked up was unconscious. Eventually, he did wake up and send a message to the captain. And this message was basically saying that they are after her. At that point, I want to say the name right, Glenn said Lan Ho, as they arrive towards the Crescent Isles. At this point, everybody gathered on the rowboats and met a wonderful lady called the Voodoo Queen. And that's where we're going to start. As you guys arrive, with the beat of the music, you see people dancing, having fun. The Voodoo Queen looks to all of you Welcome. This is a party. We're celebrating the spirit. Follow me. As she turns around and she starts to move with the music. The captain, the rest of her crew begin to follow. Do you guys follow?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
And Victor is dancing with the music as well.
Euphemia is very intrigued because she sees a lot of spirits that she's not used to.
Mm-hmm. Especially the one that's following you. Very different. You actually feel more of the ghost or the spirit that's following you. Feeling nervous, but because they don't realize what's going on. But you could definitely feel them sticking to you. As you follow, you start to see more of this island because you're actually going up a hill. It is definitely a crescent isle. As you continue to follow and seeing just how vibrant these people are, their skin colors go from light to dark, all different types of people. Finally, you see where their homes are. The homes are built unique and different. Some of them are made out of wood, others are made out of different materials, probably from animals. Just then, the sun begins to set. And Euphemia, you really do see the spirits coming out. Welcome to the Crescent Isles. Captain Lila, it seems that you brought lovely people with you. I wonder what they are here for. Isla steps forward. They're part of my crew. We have that mission, like I told you. Do you have it? Of course. Of course. Come. Isla will follow her. Please sit down and eat. Tonight, the spirits will be with us. Isla will follow the Voodoo Queen. People start to gather, and you see the crew. You see Glenn and Keys and Meg. You also see Cookie. The boy is not there. He's still resting. But they start to talk to other people, looking at like, they know them. They know them, who knows for how long. The crew will gesture to you guys to come and sit. People will come up to you guys and start to kind of either touching your arm or grabbing your hand to kind of pull you to a place to go sit down. You see children, smiling, giggling, and occasionally they will kind of almost seem to play tag with all of you, kind of daring themselves to come and touch your clothing and run away and giggle.
Magpie, anytime an adult comes towards her to try to pull her or guide her, she will recoil. However, any of the kids that come up, she will pretend not to notice and let them touch her and run away.
How about the rest of you?
Euphemia would smile and just kind of try to playfully get the little kids to make them jump away even more and kind of come back, try to do it again if they were going to kind of take the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But she would probably follow or let the adults guide her where they're wanting her to sit.
I think Victor would just stare at the little kid if one tried to come up to him.
I mean, you stare at them and they kind of giggly run away.
Victor would check his pouch, but he realizes he's spent all his gold previously, so he doesn't have anything in it. Oh, blast.
He's learning.
Did you hear when the Voodoo Queen said the spirits will be with us tonight? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? He looks at Euphemia.
All the spirits I'm seeing right now, they're enjoying the festivities. I don't think that's a bad thing.
All right. As long as there's nothing we need to be cautious about.
No, not for you all. No, it's just very overwhelming.
They are the children are very curious about Nyx. They will point to his wings and giggle. And some say, somebody or some of the kids will say, maybe he's part of a spirit. No, that's what the Voodoo Queen say. Fairies. No, he's a spirit. Look.
Nyx would mess with the kids a little bit, stretching his wings out. Then he would shrink down and fly around them a little bit before landing and going back to his normal size.
Yes, they're laughing and giggling, and they kind of like disperse and kind of run away.
And
As
then
you-
proceed to be guided to wherever he needs to sit.
They sit you down at a table, long tables. And immediately food is set before you. They are on like wooden plates, and the goblets are made of wood or kind of like an ivory. The food there is definitely anywhere between like mixed veggies to meat to fish. And in front of you, you see like a pit, like you see a boar with a apple in its mouth, and it's like being rotated around. Eventually, the captain will come out from a tent, and she looks like she's pocketing something. And behind her is the Voodoo Queen. And perfect. Eat, relax. And she will, both of them will pick a spot to sit. The drums continue through the night as you guys eat. So, as we celebrate our ancestors, the spirits, or maybe even the lost one that we know, honor them, because they will always be watching you. Tonight, for the ones who just came, I do a card reading. And if you want, I could read you your destiny or a question that's been lingering on your tongue. But I don't do it for free. So trade, if you have it.
What do you take for trade?
It depends what you want to trade.
Magpie will kind of just look at herself. Oh, I got nothing.
I mean, if you have gold, you have gold. But sometimes it's good to have something trade that's valuable to you.
What you see is what you get. Do have some gold though, but not the type of person that takes and carries around things of value. Don't really
That's
have
up to
anything
you.
valuable to my name.
And that's up to you. I just offer. And if you don't want it, you don't need it.
I just don't think that I have anything of value that you would want. Unless you want some arrows of gold. Pretty much all I have.
Yeah, I did mention gold. She smiles.
Don't forget about silver. That's still valuable as well.
I think she meant more gold as in like a currency in tangible funds. Not necessarily gold as in the coin.
It's whatever you have. You don't need to make it complicated.
I think gold is gold, no matter what shape or size.
How about 2 silver pieces? Take it or leave it.
Then you take what I give you.
Yes,
Take it or
trade.
leave it.
Yes, you give me, what is it, a reading. I give you 2 silver pieces.
Then we'll see what it's worth.
What do you mean? Do you have to pay more for a good reading?
You will see what it's worth.
Never mind then. I think I'll just sit here.
Borin would smile.
The Voodoo
Oh.
Queen gets
One-
up. So, who is first? And she walks into the tent.
I think Euphemia will do it. She'll stand up and go towards the tent.
My character sheet is not loading, so I can see how much gold I actually have.
I would shout out, is this like an individual thing?
It's individual, but if your friends want you in the same room, that's up to them.
Oh yeah, Euphemia's gonna go towards the tent.
Magpie will, as she's doing that, dig in her pocket, see hey, how much she's willing to part with.
As you enter in, you see in this room there is. It almost looks like junk, but it's fairly neat. All kinds of bibbles and baubles, things in jars. In front of you, there's a table, and there's some chairs. The candles are lit. Come and sit.
She sits down across from the Voodoo Queen.
She will point to a basket. A basket. The basket itself is beautiful woven, and inside the basket, it's like almost like a velvet cushion, and it's white. Place your trade there.
She will put 5 gold pieces in the basket.
She nods. I see that you are a seer spirit. She kind of looks over to your left shoulder. The one that's with you is very shy. Does it talk to you?
When it wants to. Not all the time.
She will point. Come, it's all right. I don't bite. You start to feel something on your left shoulder, kind of going forward a little bit. Ah, you're a young one. It's all right. It's okay to talk. Uh, yes, miss. Ah, that's good. How long have you been watching her? She starts to um, she starts to play with the cards. Um, well, I have been watching her for a long time now.
She's
Come
always been
forward.
there since I was a child. So she.
Hmm. This time, on your side, left-hand side, you do see the spirit coming through. This might be like the first time, maybe even a long time, you actually see what she looks like. Long brown hair, beautiful blue dress. But then this kind of startles you a little bit because you now realize she looks about 12 to 15 years old. Probably more 12, 13, because you notice that she is holding a teddy bear. Child. And you had been watching her since she was little. Yes. She looks to you. But you haven't really shown yourself until now. Um, there was a moment in her life I actually did show her myself. Or her life. When she was crying. When she was alone. And I gave her my teddy. Euphemia, you have a flashback. A moment in your time where you thought you lost everything. And then it comes right back to you. Hmm. That Euphemia. This is the first time you heard your name from her lips. She smiles. What is the question that you want answered?
Will I find the creature that stole everything from me and my brother?
She starts to put cards down. And she looks at them. The creature are you looking for? will show up. And at this point, when it shows itself, you must be ready for the fight of your life. But it won't be soon. Not now. But it will be there. The question would be, are you ready when it shows itself?
I will be.
Good. She picks up the cards. And then she picks up one as the last one. One falls out the deck. Interesting. She picks it up and she looks at it. She shows you the card and you see what can almost be like a gathering spirit. Hmm. She puts it back in the deck. Would you like to know more about spirit?
I would.
Spirits out there. I mean, right now they're all having a good time. But I can teach you something if you want to listen. Would you want to know more about the voodoo and the spirits?
I would, yes.
Wonderful. I have a question for you. Pick 3 animals and tell me what they are.
It's any animal.
Any animal.
The bear, bat, and a cat.
She writes it down and she looks over to a bowl on like the opposite end, far from both of you, and she kind of points to it and like almost like, pulls her finger like, come towards me. As it floats, she grabs it, she places there. She rips up the papers and puts in the bowl. She snaps her fingers and they become lit with fire. As you see the ashes kind of start to swirl and move, and they leave. Everyone has a guide. Yes, everyone. But sometimes the guides do not show themselves to the people. But one of these animals will become your guide. And through them, I will be there as well. Because I cannot go with you, of course. I have to stay here and protect this island. But
How
Hmm?
how would I know which one is mine?
Oh, you will know. Trust me, you will know. And she looks over to the spirit next to you. And you, young one, will be there to help her. How? Oh, you know as well. You see, Euphemia, she leans forward. Spirits themselves watch over certain things, as you know. Or sometimes they will linger in places, or they will hunt certain things. Once you go out there in the world, what you're doing, keep an eye out. A spirit might need your help. And if they need your help, they will help you back. You see, in the way you can invoke the spirit, but never, ever, if they say no to you, never force them. All right? That's where the bad juju comes.
She would nod in acknowledgement. She knows not to push spirits.
So when the time is right, don't mind those are spirit dogs. When the time is right, ask. Ask your spirit friend here. What is your name, child? Instead of calling you spirit. Um, I don't really remember, but I think I like the name Laura. She will look to you, Euphemia. You can call me Laura.
She'd look at Laura with a warm smile and a nod.
Good. When the time has come, you will help her. Of course, if you're comfortable, and Laura will not. So, in the meantime, Euphemia, she reaches over and hands you a book. Very skinny book. Right now, the pages are blank, but when time comes, maybe you're resting, or relaxing, or wanting to know more about the spiritual realm. I will write something here, and you will be able to read it. And I will teach you the way of the spiritual voodoo. All right?
Her smile would brighten and be like, all right, thank you.
She nods. Yeah, that is for now. That's all. And let the others know, whoever wants to come in next.
She'll give a nod and take the book and walk out. And then when she approaches the others, she's like, whoever wants to go next, you can go.
Magpie will watch to see if anybody moves first.
I actually
And
just
if
want to
nobody
ask
does,
a question.
I honestly don't think I'm even going to bother.
I'm gonna walk in there real quick just to ask. Would you be willing to do the group, not individualized, but kind of something for us as a unit?
Yeah, if you have something to trade, then yes.
Uh, like, I mean, I have gold. Is 25 gold good enough?
Place it in the basket here. She points to the basket.
All right. He's gonna step out real quick, and I'm like, I gave he was gonna say the lady, but he stops. I gave her 25 gold to just give us like a group reading. You
25
guys,
gold pieces for a voodoo reading.
I mean, it's for all of us, and I mean, we might need it. We don't know. I mean, this all might be kind of bullshit, right? But we might as well.
Yes, fair enough.
I mean,
Honestly,
you two can be skeptical, but I believe it.
I mean,
mean-
given the location that we are in,
Ifema, you see spirits surrounding Voran and Victor, kind of like, huh. And you hear them, I don't think you're real. I don't think so either.
I'm not denying that there's spirits. Obviously, you can see them. I'm denying what.
No, I'm talking. Oh, I was talking about her.
What about her?
The
What about her?
Queen, Voodoo Queen. I believe that what she can do is real.
I mean,
Want to know the entire future?
yes, it's the intuition, perception, perhaps. But anyway, I paid 25 gold for all of us. So you are willing to just step in there, maybe?
I'm not going
Magpie
back
will
in.
get to her feet.
I just want to know if we're going to die in the coming week or not. And he'll walk in.
Celeste will get up.
Nyx would make his way in.
I think
Hmm.
Victor would go because Voran paid, and to be polite.
Okay. I'm assuming everybody's now in there.
Yeah. I imagine so, unless Euphemia didn't go in.
Yeah, she was going in.
Okay.
She'll probably be like kind of on the tail end because she went in first.
There is plenty of seating for all of you as you find a spot. The Voodoo Queen is her legs are crossed and she is smoking a cigar. Yeah. It seems that Tia wants a reading to all of you. So, get comfortable. And what is the question that you want?
I mean, I just want to know anything about any coming dangers, maybe? Is that something that you can tell? I don't know. I don't know how this works. I don't know what to ask. I'm just wondering if us as a group are going to be okay.
We were
Looks
brought together by a strange dream. In the dream, it felt like we were sacrificed to something.
interesting. She puffs out a cigar.
Also, in the dream, there was a voice that said to avoid it, we had to come together. Hence why we're all sticking together to fight our differences. It would be nice to have something more to go on.
Well, we can see what the cards say. But sometimes the cards will tell you something else. So don't ever shoot the messenger because this messenger does shoot back. She smiles.
So what you
Basically,
apologies. So what you're saying is sometimes the cards say what you want to hear, and sometimes they don't.
Correct.
Uh,
Basically, take the cards with a grain of salt.
of course. And Victor would try to he tried to hide his expression of "I told you so," and just sit there.
Euphemia would just look at him and roll her eyes.
She will look at you, Victor. In your mind, you hear, I know what you are.
Victor would cast a spell. Oh, do you now? What would that be?
And you hear, dumb beer.
I would just kind of interrupt because of the fact that this is happening in your head, so we have no idea. And they'll be like, "Are we going to start?"
Yes. Sigh. And she starts to shuffle, just to let you all know that anybody can die anytime. Like you could trip on a little stone and hurt yourself. She begins
Too
to
much
shuffle.
spite to die that easily.
You never know. Things happen for reasons. And the reasons for you all to come together, well, that must be quite huge. She starts to put the cards down. Interesting. All of you came together? But something is not telling me. Something is blocking this card. She touches it. All of a sudden, the card seems to lift itself up. And then within the card, as you all see, a familiar sight of that room with the 12 slabs and the 12 different bodies. She points to one of them. It seems the captain is part of this. Why interesting she didn't tell me. And this one here. Can't tell. Oh, this one. This one's quite small. But she looks up to Nyx. But definitely not you because you're right here. As soon as she kind of touches it, then you see Nyx's body. And then she touches the rest. And then you start to see everybody's body. Ah, look at this card. And then she will point to the second one while the first one floats back down. The fate string all connecting you. Do you know what the fate string is? No?
Absolutely.
Not a clue.
I know.
Then what do you know?
Well, of course, there's probably some sort of god or goddess of fate. And there's various strings that move, all the various permutations of your life, various choices, all lead to potential end of fate, I suppose, or end of line. Whenever you die, your thread is cut. Is that close enough?
She nods. But your strings are all connected. And what I mean by connected is literally. For what reason? Somebody's been playing with your strings. And I don't think it's a deity. I think it's something else. Because there's another couple, no, 4 colors here. Maybe a 5th one. I would assume the Raven Queen. But something is tying you on. I don't know what this is. But it is quite interesting. Your strings are all connected, and yet these ones here, the ones that you can't see, and she kind of points again to the card. Maybe in due time they will reveal itself, because I'm assuming that you found out with the captain recently that she is connected to all of you as well.
Hmm.
Am I correct?
Yeah, not too long ago.
Yeah, so you are saying that someone has manipulated our fate so that we all are here together.
Yes.
So
And then she
we're
looks,
stuck together.
don't sound unhappy. Things happen for reasons. But now, you're all stuck together. She smiles.
But what if one of us was to go somewhere completely different? Would we still be on the same fate line?
I think all your fates are all going to be together no matter what.
Interesting. I don't like the idea of something deciding my fate.
It's true. It's true. Our fate, our destiny, or what line we want to walk is all possible. Can we change it? Sure. But eventually you all come together in one way or another. This last card here. This one here. She picks it up. She shows all of you. It's pure black. This does not look good. She picks up her cigar and begins to inhale and blows the smoke on it, weighs it. There, finally, you see an outline of the world. Gaia's heart. As all of you begin to look at it, you see the lands, the valleys, the rivers, the oceans, mountains. Looks beautiful. And then it begins to crack and crumble. She tosses the card on the table, and it turns to ash. Huh. That's my answer to your question. You're fated, all of you. And maybe if you decide not to follow these paths, go back home. That right there could be the end of our world.
They could have chose better heroes.
It doesn't matter if you're a hero or not. Something is telling you. All of you can take it or leave it. That is what you all need to decide. She will pick up 2 cards and then she will place her hand over the ash one. She'll mutter some words underneath her breath. She removes her hand. The card reappears. She puts it back in her deck. No. If you have any other questions, you know how to ask. But the group one is over. Anybody who wants to ask me, make a trade.
Can I ask a question regarding the group one? Do you know who has manipulated our fate so that we're together? Is it a malevolent force or brought forth to that's doing this so that we can vanquish something? Or is the malevolent force itself the one that is manipulating our fate? Do you have any inkling on what that might be?
That I do not know. Everything I saw is new to me. Even my magic can go so far.
Well, I was skeptical, I admit. However, I do believe there's merit to what you're saying. I apologize for being a bit skeptical, but that is my nature.
People can be skeptical until they see it.
I will get up and um kind of on autopilot, Vorn was straighten out one of the cards that she placed on the table before walking out.
I think
But
Victor would just nod and then head out as well.
Mhm. What the rest of you all do?
Magpie's going. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Euphemia's gonna go out and kind of enjoy the rest of the food and stuff that's out there.
Magpie's gonna wait until everybody leaves.
Nyx would step out, but stay near the tent.
Mhm.
Magpie will give it a minute or two after everybody leaves before she digs in her pocket and she'll pull out 5 pieces of gold
Mhm.
and puts it in the basket.
As you notice that, you did see the 25 gold before,
Mhm.
but it's gone as you place yours. All right. How can I help you?
There's 2 questions that I have. One for the group and one for myself.
All right.
As far as the group goes, right now we're contracted with the captain to be aboard her ship for 6. Was it 6 months or 3 months? It
3
was 3
months.
months.
Oh, 3
3.
months? I thought it was 6.
Mhm.
To help her find something, I suppose. I have a feeling with fate being manipulated around us and the chance encounter that we had to board the ship and meet the captain, I'm sure that we'll find the others in time. But what should our next step be? What does fate want us to do? Obviously, it's to stop whatever it is that's coming. To stop ourselves from being sacrificed.
She starts to deal the cards out. And then she settles 3. This card would say, that your fate will be tested. You'll be tested in ways that nobody will know. Yes, you were brought together for reasons, but let's just say all of you are in a circle and one breaks away. What happens? It will
Be
fall
left wide
apart.
open.
That too. You, young one, have some issues. Trust.
That is an understatement.
Take your time, but not much time. But so far, it seems that you have talked to someone. That's good. That's what the cards told me. The second card. After all, you will go back to a place where you're left. Things might be calm. But it also seems that a companion of yours will need to go much far to complete a mission. That will be in time for you to go, maybe. And the last card. The last card, it tells me that you might be visited by someone that you've never seen. And this will be a whole big trust.
You
She'll
know
pick up
who?
the cards. It doesn't reveal who. Just says that somebody knows you. When and where? Could be today. Could be next week. Could be a year from now. And what is your second question?
She'll pause for a moment, fidgeting a bit before rubbing the back of her neck. Will I ever know why?
Why what?
Why I wasn't wanted?
deals out the 3. This card tells me there was something with your family. A sadness. A sadness, it seems, with your parents. The second card reveals there was love. Or something else. Love, laughter, happiness. But also jealousy. Much great jealousy. And the third, this one tells me that you have something. And when the time is right, in that moment, everything will be revealed to you in moments' time. She'll pick up the cards and put it back in the deck.
Magpie will sit for a few moments, letting the words sink in, before she bows her head and gets up to her feet. Well, at least that's something to look forward to.
She nods.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And she'll head out of the tent.
Nix would make his way into the tent as Magpie left.
Come, sit down.
He would take a seat.
What do you have to offer?
So he'd look her in the eyes and he's like,
I mean, I can pay in coin, but much prefer to ask, would you accept a song from a lost village in trade?
She smiles and nods.
He would,
pull out his pan flute that he keeps on him that he's never pulled out in front of anybody here. I actually did find a song.
Mhm.
I'm sharing it now, and that is what he would play.
Okay. I know y'all can't hear it, but just in case. As you start the song, you almost see the notes flying in the air. They begin to swirl. It might startle you just a moment, but you continue on with the song. You see the Voodoo Queen open up a box. The song, the music notes head inside. As you finish the song, She closes it. You may ask your question.
Nix would look her in the eyes, almost choking it back a bit as he puts the pan flute back in his bag.
Simple question. The hit piece.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you ask?
Yeah.
What was it?
It's a simple question.
Mhm.
Are they at peace?
She just sets the cards down. And she takes a deep breath. She opens her eyes, and you notice that her eyes are pure white. They are at peace. They run around, smiling and laughing. I hear a whisper. Saying, beware. Beware. We are fine. But there is something else. There is something else amongst them. It was a cover up. Not all human. Beware. For some are stuck. But we are fine. We are fine. She leans her head forward and closes her eyes. She takes a deep breath and opens. Did that answer your question?
Does. Thank you very much.
She nods.
He would stand up and bow and then make his way back out to the rest.
Amongst the group, anybody else wants to come in?
Are you going to head in, Voren, get your own reading?
No, I think I'm fine.
Yes, I think I'm alright as well.
Celeste will go in there. In the meantime, music keeps going. The captain will walk over to you. Hopefully you got your answers question answers. Sorry, I'm a little drunk right now.
Not completely, but there's hope.
I mean, she's pretty good at what she does. Sometimes there are things in there that you might never know and find out. She takes another drink from her goblet. But tonight we're going to stay on the island, and then in the morning we will leave.
Was there anything else that you needed from here?
I was just doing some trade goods and stuff. It's fine. I got what I needed, so tomorrow we'll set sail, and well, we still need to go find some other things. Yes.
Anything you would recommend we pick up from here before we leave? Any place of interest? Or should we just sit back and enjoy the festivities?
Oh yes, please sit back. Everything is well. Tomorrow we will have what we need to pile on those 3 rowboats, and then we'll set off.
Sure.
Oh, and just don't make the island angry. That's all.
How does one make an island angry?
She kind of looks. Guess I really didn't explain. So what Meg over there got angry at because this particular island is a huge turtle
That would
and likes to
make a
play
lot of
games.
sense.
Yes, it likes to play games. Yep,
Makes
it
sense,
does.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Still doesn't tell me what I need to not do to make it angry.
Oh, set fire to things. That would be really bad. Especially the Voodoo Queen might just curse you into a tiny doll, but that's a whole different story. I think you should just be fine. This is quite a strong drink. Really strong.
Understood. Keeping my hands to myself.
All right, enjoy the rest of the night.
You too.
Goodbye, Captain. What time of day is it right now?
It is
I could have
about
sworn
10
you said it
o'clock.
was nighttime.
Yeah, it's 10.
Okay.
10 o'clock at night.
So it's getting late, kind of?
Yeah. Celeste
Okay.
finally come out, but she kind of looks a little worried. But she doesn't go straight to you guys. She kind of walks off somewhere.
I wonder if she's okay.
Well, I'm going to look around a little bit. I think I want to go look at the ocean. At least before we set off tomorrow.
Magpie's gonna kind of just wrinkle her brow a little.
What?
You have fun with. We're gonna see nothing but ocean for quite some time. I figured you'd want to look at some land rather than ocean.
Well, I want to go look at the moonlight over the ocean. Perhaps a little beach or something somewhere. That's all. It's relaxing.
I'm not saying that it's not. It's just not what I thought that you would want to be staring at.
Fair. Good point. What's the rest of the island look like? Is the middle of the island like all trees?
Yeah, it's right now you just where you're at, I would say you are on the bottom of the crescent island. So it's I guess picture is like a crescent island, but you're on the bottom, but you're on a top hill. So how you guys came from, you walked down, or walking up kind of like the hill. you see from your guys' point is gorgeous, is beautiful. The ship is in the middle of the crescent, just floating there, and then you can kind of see the 3 rowboats that you guys came in. Beautiful beach. As the moon kind of hits it, it has like a sparkle to it. Going from where you guys are at, like the middle of the island, it's kind of more flat, but there is like beach and trees and, like some shrubbery and all that stuff. And it kind of goes to the other side. But if you keep going up the crescent, it's now more dense, more jungle-like, and like mountains.
If Victor were to look around a little bit, could he find like something with a good view, but like a natural water pool? Something like that he could sit in? Essentially what he wants to do. He wants to get into some shorts and just sit into some water.
Yeah, there's actually not that far from camp. There is like a place where they would, if you asked and stuff, like a place to go bathe. There is a waterfall, fresh water.
I'm going to that place before bed.
It's about like a 10-minute walk, 10-15-minute walk.
I think Victor would head back and try to get like some bathing clothes. Just go and try to have some peace on this island before leaving.
Yeah, I mean, they will give you guys what you want. So like for instance, like in the rooms that are provided, there's like pajamas. But there it's like huge pajamas on you guys. There is kind of like a swim trunks or whatever, and a towels. So yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Euphemia is gonna like kick off her shoes and kind of like walk along the beach along where the water and the beach meet. So it's
Mhm.
like her feet touching the water.
Mhm. Anybody else?
I think
Meg,
Vorin probably
go
just
ahead.
want to just sit there and like at a bench or something and enjoy watching everybody in their festivities and taking a bit of moonlight. But taking it easy, I guess.
And Magpie?
Magpie is going to try to find a place quiet and a bit away from people. Close by where she's not like out of shouting distance range, but so many people being loud and noisy would get to her after a while, and
Mm.
she'll want to find a place to just be alone in her thoughts, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Especially with
mean,
after what she heard from the Voodoo Queen, she kind of wants to process it all.
of course.
Is the Voodoo Queen still around?
Mhm. At this point, she actually does walk out of the tent. She would chit chat. I mean, from where you're sitting, you can definitely see her.
I want to go up to her, just seeing her come out the tent, and I'll say, if you have items or just a thing, are you able to sense anything from it or learn anything from it?
It depends. Why?
Um, a long time ago, I came across, uh, and he'll look around.
Do you need privacy? We can go back inside.
Yes.
But it does have a price.
Yeah, sure.
Should we go back into the tent?
Yeah, so he'll follow in and he'll reach in into like a pocket that's kind of like in a flap of his, leathers. Um and pull out a bit of a little pouch. Um and he'll say, I came across this a long time ago and I've just been holding on to it because I had no idea what it would lead to or if it even mattered. But I think maybe you could give me some answers. And he'll stack 5 coins neatly, and he'll ask, is that enough?
Go ahead and put it in. Hey, just go ahead and put it in the basket.
All right. So he'll do that, and then he'll open up the little pouch, and because he doesn't want to grab the things that are in there, he'll just pass it over to her. What can you do? You sense any? What can you tell me about this? And he'll kind of sit there nervously after he hands it to her.
So do you hand her the pouch?
Yes, the little pouch. The
What's in
pouch.
the pouch?
Yeah, the pouch contains what looks like two, or I guess like first of all, there's like ripped paper in there that has something written on it, but you can't really tell what it is unless you try to put it together. But due to Vorn's OCD, he doesn't like to look at it because it's stressing him out. Then there are two what look like sharp fangs in the bag, and they are, pristine. And the truth is that he stole this bag from somebody. But he doesn't say that. But he's showing this bag to her that contains 2 teeth, and it also has like some kind of ripped up letter inside of it.
I'm laughing because I know what it is. Interesting. And where did you get these from?
They came into my possession.
Hmm. She will sit down and then she will kind of tilt the bag as the items fall out. Do you know what these are? As she points to the teeth.
They look like teeth, and he'll kind of like point at his that also kind of sharp, but not like that.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
But what would be the
And you
purpose of carrying some teeth in a pouch in a little bag?
sometimes people carry certain possessions as trophies.
He raises a brow.
So this could have been a trophy of some type. Don't you say it? No. She kind of points somewhere around the room. Sorry, the spirits are getting feisty.
Yeah, he looks around like, what the fuck?
You too, don't even say it either. You know what? Get out. Out of it. Out of the tent. Not you. You sit. Out. And then you kind of see the tent flaps open. And it keeps going and going and going, and it finally stops. Sorry, about 15 in here. Whew, and I could breathe.
What was that all about?
Some that were in here kept yelling across from each other in terms of the common tongue, either werewolf or vampire. But here, this one looks like it could be a vampire. Are you familiar with those creatures?
I've heard tales, I guess. Far away lands. I don't think I've ever met a vampire or anybody that has.
I have. They're a hoot, but that's a whole different story. Some,
Cough, cough.
you're not here.
I know.
Cough, 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 cough.
Some can be quite nice. Some can be straight out evil. And some are in between. Some just want to live. And some, well, they want to murder. Just like, how a warlord is.
Right.
Can never judge a book by its cover. Now, on the other hand, werewolves, a whole different story. They just murder, it doesn't matter. They can't see. All they see is blood in their eyes. That's why they're cursed. Oh, full moon, all that stuff. You definitely want to stay away and keep indoors and definitely keep silver on you.
Right.
But, like I said, this could be a trophy. And have you attempted to put whatever this together?
I've attempted, and I get so far, but I think some of the paper got damaged, so it's become more difficult with time. Maybe I shouldn't keep them with the teeth. But anyway, I think it's an invitation of sorts from what I can put together, but it means nothing. Invitation to what, to where, to why?
Hmm. That's true.
Is there any kind of negative energy? Do you sense energy? I don't know how this works. I'm sorry.
I don't sense any negative energy because there's nothing to really pull out. She kind of makes a joke.
What do I do
Whoever's
with this?
teeth
With the teeth, do you keep
belong
them?
to, I don't want them. You can keep them. But maybe there's a reason why they're with this too.
You think they're worth something?
Could be. Look, I said one, it could be a trophy.
Right.
Whoever's first thing belongs to. Two, whatever this, you said a party and it's been ripped up. Then be curious why. They could be the same thing. But if you want to know more, I might have a thing for you to make the paper come together.
Oh yes,
But
I
it will
know
take a
of
while.
wizards and stuff that can fix things, right?
Yeah. But with this, it will take a while. But
I
it will be
wonder
on you.
if I could ask Victor.
That's up to you.
Maybe I'll find Victor, and then if not, what is it that you have? Some sort of scroll, or
Yeah, it's just a powder that I put in the pouch. You shake it and you keep it there for 2 to 3 weeks.
oh, maybe I should do that anyway, just in case you can't do it.
She will pull out the thing, and it's a very small vial. On the house.
Oh, well, thank you.
The only thing is, I will tell you this. You must do it when the moon's out. It doesn't matter what phase of the moon, as long as the moon shines on what you're doing. Make
Um,
sense?
yeah, yeah, I think it does. Voren pauses for a moment at the mention of the moon, just from personal memories and experiences.
Mm.
Sure.
She hands you the vial. I am surprised that you didn't want to ask any questions. And then she just kind of let goes of your hand.
Yeah, he smiles slightly, just from being caught off guard, and drops his head. Um, as he is getting up to leave, and he'll make a comment. I am a seeker of knowledge, but honestly, there's things about my life that I just kind of rather not know.
Understandable.
Thank you.
It made a Loa smile upon you. That's the first time you ever heard the name Loa.
Yeah. He'll make his way out and I guess stroll about to see if he can find Victor. But you can go to anybody else first.
Victor! Just kidding.
Oh, okay,
It's up
so
to you guys.
yeah, Victor would do stuff before Voren found him.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So I was planning this. So this is gonna be interesting. Okay. So Victor, he'd make his way to this spring, this like pool of water, and he'd look around and try to make sure that he is fairly no one else around.
Perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, you see nobody. It's nice, it's clear. I mean, occasionally you might see something like going in the brushes, but it's a very tiny animal. Like
Oh,
they're looking for like some place to sleep, like a
okay. So,
monkey.
like a monkey. Um, can I throw a dagger and try to kill the monkey?
That poor monkey.
It's for what he wants to do. He needs some blood.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, should I? I could firebolt it.
And this is when Victor gets mad monkeypox.
I think he would just. So yeah, I would firebolt at the monkey instead of throwing a dagger.
Okay, go ahead and
Let me roll to hit.
yeah.
And I go back to what Isla said about setting the forest on fire.
It's the
boy.
firebolt misses the monkey. The
It's a
whole forest goes
monkey.
up
What
in
do
a
you, what do you think
blaze.
the AC of a monkey is? Come on.
Yeah, you hit the monkey.
Okay, is it dead?
What'd you roll? What's the
Uh,
number?
oh, I need to roll damage. Let me roll the damage. 5 damage.
I was like, I didn't see it. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Um, yeah, you hit it, and that is its hit points.
Wonderful.
So it's going to be a crispy monkey if you don't get there first.
Okay, all right. So he gets the monkey, and he takes his dagger and he kind of slices it so that he can get some blood on his hands.
Mm-hmm.
So Victor's kind of stripped down now at the moment. He's in his like a swim shorts, and he lights like a couple candles. Uh, yes, and he kind of takes the blood, and he kind of puts a little like on his face and rubs his chin, um, and then he kind of, in a ritualistic prayer, he starts praying. Ah, dearest Lilith, goddess, I could really use your counsel about now. Seems I've gotten myself into some sort of interesting situation. I ask that you bestow your guidance upon me at some point. At least help me with some questions that need to be answered. I suppose the first question is, where do we go from here? I'm sure you know the situation that we're in, and there seems to be some sort of force leading us into a particular situation, manipulating us, perhaps. I find it very concerning. I think you should too, because it could affect much more than just me, perhaps even the world at large, according to this fortune teller, this voodoo queen. But anyways, I leave this sacrifice to you in hopes to perhaps garner your favor. And in that moment, he lets down the facade of pretending to breathe because he doesn't need to. And he just walks into the pool, and sits at the bottom and just
Give
looks up
me
at the moonlight. Mhm.
give me a religion check.
Okay.
Okay. You sit in the pool as the blood starts to wash off from your face and your hands. Victor,
Yes, I hear your voice.
what I can tell you is keep to this. There is something stirring, and many of us not like it.
I had a feeling there was something different about this, Your Eminence. Something that has kept me here, instead of my home, with these strangers that are becoming friends, I suppose.
Yes, keep to it and see why. There are other things in hand that seems to be coming up. And I might be calling you and your family to arm.
Yes, of course, as you wish.
I can't stay long. This island is protected by her Loa, a different deity, especially different from us. But the Voodoo Queen has answered so much and helped you all.
Is she to be trusted? Can we believe everything that she said to us?
Yes. Or the yes echoes. And at that moment, you do not feel her presence.
I think Victor, he would inhale the water and then just exhale it, and then slowly start to rise toward the surface. And then at that point, whenever Vorin gets there is when Vorin gets there.
Mhm.
Do we think this would be around the time, DM, like according to what we were both doing?
Um, just about. Anybody else want to do anything? I know some of you have found spots to relax, and walked on the beach.
Oh, you've had me. It's just walking on the beach, to be honest.
Okay. Okay. Magpie next.
Nix is just chilling, zoning out.
Magpie.
I forgot that I was muted. I would keep an eye out for Celestine if she tends to wander by where I'm hanging out. But for the most part, I'll be just thinking and keeping an eye out, watching and observing people as they go about their day.
Night.
Yeah, night.
Yeah. I mean, you do start to see people like going in tents or their homes. Celestia eventually kind of like walks. I would say almost like past you. She just looks like she's lost in thought as she
Everything
keep.
okay?
Um. Yeah, as best as it can be.
A lot to take in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm.
She'll look like there's more that she wants to say, but she kind of falls silent herself.
It's almost the same way
Uh,
with Celestia.
Everybody else is kind of scattered to the winds. They're around if you need people to talk to.
That's true. It'd be the same thing with them, but I just been keeping it to myself lately. So I think I'm gonna go lay down.
Rest well then.
You too. What do you do?
I'll
She
try.
will. Yeah. So she will go to one of the places and rest.
After she's out of hearing range. Yeah, this is gonna be so hard. Do people do this? That's pretty much it for me.
Okay. At this time, Warren, you can make your way to Victor.
Yeah, so Vorin
Let the bromance begin.
so Vorin would be kind of getting away from like the main area and looking for Victor. He would, using the thaumaturgy, he would be increasing the
God.
volume of his voice, just like Victor, Victor, and like so it would just be echoing, and then wherever he's like walking, like the flames are kind of increasing because of the same effect. And probably not very mindful of other people, but he's just looking for Victor.
I'd say Victor would have been sitting underwater for a good bit. But up above, there would still be, he didn't do anything with the monkey. The monkey's still dead somewhere around there. And there are candles set up in a ritualistic pattern. Red candles. I imagine probably now just burning just a regular, candlelight. And I guess as you approach, I guess I roll a perception to see if I hear him underwater.
Yeah, it would be it'd be disadvantaged because it's like
Okay.
mumble,
Okay,
But it's
perception.
also 3 times as loud.
mumble.
So just roll it with advantage, but the lower. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So I guess I don't really know where I'm looking, but I'll continue to call out.
Mhm.
Can I do a perception check to see if I see any of this stuff?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you see it.
Oh shit.
So I see this thing from a distance, and because of, like I said, the thaumaturgy effect, like flames get bigger. He would see like the candles light up as he's walking towards them, even brighter. Um,
Mhm.
what the fuck? It's just like a dead monkey. Uh, hello?
I imagine. I don't
Wait,
know. Will you hear him now?
um, this is how I imagine because you did it did you do it on like the edge of the pool?
So I imagine it like kind of like so. I imagine the scene is kind of like trees and stuff everywhere, some, like pretty much rocks, and like the center pool of water. It's probably like maybe 8 feet deep. Um, like on the little, I imagine like this maybe little sandy spot where he has candles kind of laid out, and in the middle he had the monkey. So I imagine it may be like the pool, maybe like 5 feet away.
Okay. How far do you get to the pool, Boren?
I mean, I would be right now. I would be right where the like sacrificial thing was created. So he said
Okay, and you
it's
said
a
like
couple of.
Yeah,
like 5 feet?
it's like 5 feet. You'd see like the pool, the rocks starting to go down into like a pool of
Yeah.
water.
Okay. This is how I imagine because the moon's still out, and even though your eyes might be closed, it's still light. It still brings in light. So something could have just kind of, how shadows move and walk and stuff. It still ripple through the water. So even your eyes can see something like moving past, even though they're closed. You know how it is, right?
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking about? So yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
it's like when all of a sudden it's like a little darker than your eyes
Yes.
close. Yeah.
Yes.
So Victor would open his eyes out, and he'd exhale like a bit of the water.
Mhm.
And he'd look up, and I guess he would see maybe like a shadow, like a ripply Voran.
Yes. You probably see just a shadow, and it is very like how water is. So you can't quite tell what it is because it's like almost blobby.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
like
But
somebody.
I would say
yes.
part of the thaumaturgy as well is my eyes change. So you probably see a shadowy figure with just bright eyes.
Oh shit. So Victor would be like, "Mm, mm," and he'd kind of swim up to the top. "Ugh," and he'd pretend like he had needed air. "Ugh, ugh, hello?" He'd look
I would
around.
have jumped back and almost like uh instinctively reached for a dagger. What the fuck?
Oh, Brick. It's me, Victor.
Yeah, I know. What, what were you doing?
Oh, taking a bath and enjoying the moonlight.
Enjoying?
Oh,
And then he points at the at all the candles and the monkey.
oh, yes. Victor. Give 1 second, Warren. Victor would try to like turn his back to Voran. He'd like to try to take a claw and scrape up his face a little bit.
Oh my god.
Okay. Give me sleight of hand.
Okay. Gonna be bad. Oh no, it's not.
Holy moly!
I was also gonna. I mean, you nailed it, but I was also gonna say that I'm not exactly like looking very well because of the fact that he's naked.
That's true. It doesn't matter. He does it with ease.
And Victor will turn around. Oh, you're talking about the blasted monkey over there. Scratched me terribly.
Really?
Jumped on my face. Yes, take a look.
No, I mean,
I'm decent. I have shorts on, Brick.
do you need help? I mean, it's a.
Yes, help me out of this pool.
So I would like reach in, like, but not trying to get wet. So like, just extend my hand as far as I could.
All right, he'll grab it and help up. You see, like kind of like a cut, pretty straight, not really jagged, but kind of like on his cheek. It looks like it's bleeding a little bit now, but like it's runny because of the water.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that looks. That did that. What did you do
Yeah.
to anger it?
Nothing. I was just getting undressed, ready to put out my candles. I was doing a bit of ritual. I typically do that type of thing during the evening hours, and well, it scratched me. Then I got in the water to try to clean myself off.
Oh, I see. I'm not
Yes.
interrupting your ritual, am I?
Oh, absolutely not. You're welcome any time, Brick. You're perfectly fine.
Well, Minerva's not feeling well, but maybe Celeste could heal you up, perhaps.
Should I? I've been talking pretty well, but can I roll a deception check just to see if he's keeping up the ruse?
Sure.
Okay.
Voran. You've been around shady people before.
Mm-hmm. He
And
is one.
Yeah, you can tell when somebody lies a little bit. How they talk and how the voice might go deeper or higher and stuff. So go ahead and roll me insight check. I'm just curious.
Oof.
For a split second, just a split second, there was just a little fluctuation in his voice. But at the same time, you're like, maybe because the sting on his cheek is affecting it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Boren would be kind of dismissive of it anyway because he needs him.
Yeah.
So he's not really gonna bother with anything. Yeah, we should probably get that looked at. Also, I have a question for you. I guess I can ask you along the way. I'll give you a chance to get dressed.
Oh, yes, just give me a moment. I'll clean up, dispose of the monkey, and get my candles and all that. Just a couple of minutes, and Victor will grab a towel, dry himself off, then starts throwing his stuff into his bag. Then he kind of looks at the monkey and he kind of tosses it near a tree,
Boren would be like,
Where are you tossing that?
near a
towards a
tree somewhere.
Okay.
Boren would be getting like sand off his shoes, looking kind of disgusted.
Yes, takes a little bit to get used to these wilds, but it is beautiful up here. You have to admit.
No, yes, it's very beautiful. Sand is it's just too messy for me, but yeah.
Anyways, how can I help you? Do you want to talk here, or you want to make a way back, down there?
Yeah, we can make our way back. I'll just ask you as we go.
All right.
I know that there are things wizards can do, maybe even other people, I'm not sure, but there you can like fix things. There's a spell to fix what's broken.
Yes, there is. It's a mending spell. I don't think I have it at the moment. What are you trying to fix? Perhaps I might be able to.
Oh, well, I have this what I think is an invitation, but I'm not exactly sure because the paper is all ripped up. Um, I've attempted to put it together, but I just got annoyed halfway through every time.
All right. So, uh, I suppose I could have a look. See, I'm not sure if I could do it yet. And I don't have the mending spell. Are you trying to read what's on the paper, or you just want the paper complete?
Yeah, I'm trying to read it or at least find out what it is. Um,
All right.
but also if you can't, it should be fixed in I think she said 2 to 3 weeks. Um, she gave me something that I could use to try to fix it, but I thought if there was a shortcut, I should probably ask you.
All right. Yes, it is possible. One of the others might have the spell. I suppose first, would you mind if I took a look at it?
Not at all. So he goes into the pouch and picks the paper out while leaving the teeth at the bottom of the pouch, like not showing them.
Hmm.
Uh, and then he just shows Victor extending the palm of his hand.
Hmm.
I don't even know
And
if
what
it's
am I saying?
complete, to be honest. It
Is it
is.
just a bunch of little pieces?
It's a bunch of little pieces of paper that do belong, look like they belong together. They were in the pouch when I got it, but it's been ripped up.
All right. Have you tried to rearrange it like a puzzle? See if you can.
I have, but I think some pieces might be damaged or something because I don't know, it's gotten increasingly difficult.
All right. Well, at least I can try to give that a whirl. Let's find some place safe, and we'll take a look at it. So Victor will, I guess, if they're kind of on the trail, I guess he'd find a rock and kind of lay the pieces out. Does this make any sense to Victor whatsoever?
Nope.
Um,
I mean,
anything
the piece,
legible?
like when you start putting some of the pieces together, even some of the words are missing. It does definitely look like a puzzle, but some words are like you might get we, you, auction, party, follow, here. Those are the words that only come out.
Well, it looks like it's some sort of auction or party, but I can't really. You're right. It's missing quite a bit.
Yeah, it almost looks like whoever decided to rip it up didn't pick up the rest of it, so it makes it really hard to put together.
Yes, there is a spell that can uh, bring things back together if they're broken. But I unfortunately do not. I do not have the spell on hand. It's a mending
Hmm.
spell is what you're looking for.
Well, I guess we'll see if we could find somebody that can, or just, I guess, just wait it out until the voodoo lady's magic works.
Yes, yes, of course. I suppose you might be able to ask Euphemia. Euphemia might be able to do it as well. I
Hmm.
believe quite a few. The spell is kind of well known. Just unfortunate I don't have it at the moment.
Right. What about Celeste, do you think? No?
She might be able to do it as well. Absolutely. A mending spell will fix anything that has been ripped into pieces, but it only does it if it's so large. It has to be about a foot or so. It'll put everything back together again.
Oh, I see. This isn't exactly a
Mhm.
foot, is it?
And I'm not sure how big is it.
It's definitely not a foot.
Well, I suppose multiple mending spells might work. If not, you might just have to leave it up to. You said the Voodoo Queen gave you something.
Are you saying that? Are you saying bigger than a foot or smaller than a foot?
It's essentially it'll fix like a break or a tear of anything that's a foot
Oh,
in
I see.
any dimension. Some things are too broken to be mended
Oh,
in one go. I suppose.
so then it could work. I suppose. I guess.
Absolutely.
I guess we'll find out.
Yes, of course. I suggest asking one of the others I mentioned. They might be able to do it, and he'll kind of gather the pieces and give them back to Brick. Apologies. Wish I could be more of assistance.
No, it's all right. This has been burning a hole in my pocket, so to speak, for a while.
Well, it seems like a mystery you will be able to solve eventually.
Right. Yeah. We'll see. Hey, can I ask you something?
Yes, absolutely.
Is there a reason other than financial that you didn't want to talk to the Voodoo Queen?
I kind of want to talk to her now, honestly. She kind of upset me a little at first. I was trying to haggle her down, and she didn't like it. And part of me, I don't like things that say that I can't control my own destiny.
Hmm.
However, there are valid things that she is doing, and I know that destiny does exist in a way. Although there's many different paths that you could take. I just don't like the fact that someone has manipulated ours, apparently.
Right. I can definitely understand. But
Yes.
if you want to talk to her, I can give you the gold.
I don't want to. We might need the gold for something more important.
I could acquire more gold if I needed it.
We might have to, honestly. It's expensive being out here on the water. Especially with the things I need to do what I need to do, very expensive. I suppose I could go and give her a gold and see what she'll say.
Very well. And
I just
he'll
don't know if it's worth it, you know?
yeah. Vorn will toss him a gold piece that he's usually fidgeting with in his hand anyway.
Oh, well, I hate taking any gold from you, but I appreciate it.
I feel like any answers we can get at this point from any point of view would probably be helpful.
Yes, all right. Well, I suppose I better scurry down there and do it before she goes to bed.
If she even sleeps, he'll say jokingly, but
It's true. I suppose by now we've made it to the camp, like the main
Mhm.
camp.
Yeah. At this point, there's still some people talking. It's about almost midnight. Um, the fires are dying down, but you do see her tent still light up.
Victor would approach and kind of knock on something if you can. Hello, Voodoo Queen.
Yes. Come in.
Yes, thank you. Um, I had a question. I don't know if it's a little too late for readings, but I have one gold piece,
She points to the basket.
and he puts it in the basket. I'm sorry about earlier. I'm typically skeptical about a lot of things, as I said before, but I meant no harm by it. I respect what you do here on this island. It seems great.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like, I suppose, to know a little bit about what you see for me.
Is that the question?
I suppose not necessarily a question in particular. Um, I suppose just a general thing about me. Perhaps I don't know how are things back in Dark Harbor. Am I ever going to come into my fortune? Um, where are we going on this ship? Things of that nature. Who is who are we looking for? Like, who are the others with the eyes that we need to find? That kind of thing.
Those are multiple questions.
That's right. So I just limit it to one.
Or we can see what the cards answer.
How about that? You do just flip over the cards and see what they say, I suppose.
She starts shuffling and she pulls out just one, places it. She looks at it. Quite interesting. You have many other questions about yourself, upon the path that you want to take, or does the path take you? And I'm not talking about this fate right now. This is you. It seems that you go back and forth because you were born on who you are. But you will be tested. Something or someone will be coming into your life. And the question will be, do you follow that person and become your own? Or do you follow the path of your parents and become their own? Now, how I say it, you can flip it back and forth. But this will be a test on who you become and more. She picks up the card and puts it back into the deck.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. It's very good. So a test.
She nods.
A test of following my ancestry or striking out anew.
Exactly.
That's going to be a very difficult choice. But as of right now, I really enjoy my ancestry. But I can see the difficulties because you know what I am, somehow. I'm a person of two worlds, so to speak.
Aren't we all? She
Yes.
smiles.
Well, I appreciate your time. I know it's getting late.
Of course.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Victor kind of make his way back towards, I suppose, anyone. I guess if he passes Voran, I'll talk with him. Well, I had a little chat with the Voodoo Queen.
How'd it go?
Oh, I didn't really receive any information pertinent to, I suppose, where to go next, who to find, just that I would be tested.
How do you feel about that?
I suppose we'll see when I get to whatever test I'm supposed to pass or fail. If it even is pass or failure. Could just be one path versus the other.
Live or die?
Potentially. I could follow in my family's footsteps, or strike out anew, with new beginnings, new everything.
That's probably not too bad, then, is it?
Yes, it's not too bad. I'm just curious as to what I'll decide when the time comes.
Jump off that bridge when you get to it.
Absolutely no need worrying about fate right now. Well, it's getting late, Warren. I want to get to bed and see what tomorrow holds.
Indeed.
All right. So you guys go to sleep or go to one of the places for the rest of the three. Do you eventually go to sleep? The three who are muted right now.
I'm here.
It's
I
blocking out
would
background
say,
noises.
I would say that Magpie will, once everything's like dying down, she'll go and try to find a tree to sleep in.
Okay. Next in your family, do you go to sleep?
Yep. Your family does her normal night routine and goes to bed.
What
Nyx
about
would
Nyx?
Nyx would be going to bed.
Okay.
Somewhere in a tree.
Okay. Far a tree, not too far from
I don't know. Whatever tree has a squirrel hole in it, he can shrink down and sleep in.
I don't know if there'd be any squirrel holes in the
There's
jungle.
definitely a place that a monkey's missing from right now.
Bad. So bad. Anyways.
Damn, that's dark.
Yes, as the night proceeds and it gets dark, all of you find your place to sleep. And the night continues. About 3 o'clock in the morning. I would say between Magpie and Nyx, because you're outside. You hear commotion. Eventually, some of you, depends how heavy sleepers you are, will hear, no, 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 no. And somebody running.
When
Mm-hmm.
We hear that from
When
like our
Magpie-
dormitory or wherever we're sleeping.
Yep.
Yeah.
when
Go ahead, Effie.
Magpie hears the commotion, she's gonna start looking around to see what's going on.
From your vantage point, you see Celeste running.
Oh no. That's not good. That's me, Neffy, saying that.
Do you think?
She's gonna try scurrying down the tree to find out what's going on.
You think we would have recognized her voice at all, or no?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So as Magpie's doing that, I think I would have jumped out of bed as well. Try to see what the hell was going on. and look out a window, and if I can't see anything, I'll open the door.
Yeah, I would say definitely between you and Magpie. I mean, being rogues, being probably light sleepers.
Hmm.
Because if something happens, you're up, you're at it. It might take you a moment to adjust your eyes, but at this point, you do see somebody just run.
And are we all in separate rooms, or how is the sleeping arrangement?
Um, how the sleeping arrangements would be you get a choice of being in your own rooms or kind of like in one big room. It depends. Like if the guys want to sleep in the same area, girls too.
Yeah, I think if there was like a sleeping area that had like hammocks or something, like he would probably take one of those. If Victor is anywhere nearby,
Yeah, he'd be nearby. I
uh,
suppose another hammock.
yeah, I think I think Vorian would at least shout out as he's like opening the door and running out. It's like that sounded
Mm.
like. And he would see. I couldn't see, but I think, did that sound like he would be panicking?
Go after them. I'll wake the others.
All right.
I think Victor would look around. If anyone's close by, he would wake them. Otherwise, he'd hurry up, get ready, and try to follow after behind.
I would say that you see Keys kind of sleeping outdoors in a hammock. Glenn, he's not too far. And both of them are kind of stirred a little bit because hearing somebody shout, no, 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 they're kind of like adjusting, waking.
Harry, there's something going on.
They kind of, what? Like, what? What?
I don't know. This just be ready. We don't know what's going on, but something's happening. I'm going to go find Vorin and find whoever was making the commotion.
Vorn, where are you at?
I am at least trying to keep, line of sight with whomever was running that.
Mm.
Right now he's just kind of assuming it was Celeste based on what he thought sounded familiar. But he's not exactly sure. So I'm not too far away from where we were sleeping, but trying to keep line of sight to see, like, if anybody else comes, I would say, okay, in that direction.
Yeah, you see the person running like into, like, it would be almost like into the jungle, but towards the ship. Eventually, Magpie, you're probably down. What are you doing?
Bolting after Celestine, because you said that I saw her, right?
Right.
So that would be the direction I'm running, full speed, trying to catch up to her.
Yeah,
Calling
so
out after her.
I guess at this point, Vaughn, you actually see Magpie running
Okay.
towards
Yeah,
that
that
way.
makes more sense.
Okay.
So I would look back, and if Victor's anywhere behind me, going that way, and I just keep booking it because I don't want to lose Magpie.
Mhm. Nix, do you wake up? And
Yes.
okay.
But unlike the rest, running Nyx would be flying.
Mm-hmm. And Euphemia.
Euphemia would probably put on her shawl and kind of run after kind of behind in the pack.
As you guys are running, Glenn and Keys is running. They yell out something, and immediately the whole camp basically wakes up. The captain is right behind you, Euphemia,
Mm-hmm.
and she is quite fast. And you hear her say, "Not my ship," as she continues to run past you and run past. I'm going to assume Victor's running probably in front of you. Nyx, you're up in the air. Then Brick, and then Magpie. At this point, you guys are now basically going down. You guys can now see Celeste running. And at this point, you do see the ship. The captain just ran past Victor and is catching up to Warren. You now see Celeste jumping in the water and swimming to the boat or to the ship. Not even getting in the small boats, which one of them is missing. And she is swimming for her life towards the ship. Born, the captain passes you.
What the
And at this
hell?
point, she leaps in front of Magpie, 10 feet in front of you now.
Magpie's gonna go look up at the captain. Something's got Celestine spooked. What's going on?
Some people have stolen from her. She stops just at the water. You guys see Celeste swimming. What do you guys want to do?
How far away is
Where
the boat? Yeah, sorry.
The boat, I'm gonna say it's about 100 feet away. Because it can't. It doesn't have a port, so.
Yeah, it's too shallow. I'm jumping and swimming after her.
where is Laura to me? Like where is she?
Laura is behind you, floating.
She'll turn and look to Laura. Follow Celeste, please. Make sure she's okay.
Okay. And you see her immediately follow.
And I'm probably gonna start going towards one of the boats.
Mm-hmm. It is still dark, but there's a little bit of moonlight. Celeste stops. Glenn and Keys get into one of the boats. As the captain looks through the ship, she tilts her head to the side. Something is wrong. And she starts to run on the water.
I probably would be getting on the same boat as Glenn and Keys, or if they're taking the last two ones, just one of them.
Yeah,
Is the ship moving away quickly, or is it just kind of
No,
floating out there?
the ship, yeah, it's just floating. Like Wind Dancer is just floating there.
Okay.
But how she said it, it sounds like there's like she is growling when she said it, that there's something wrong.
Victor would cast mage armor on himself immediately,
Mhm.
and then he would start helping row the boat.
As Leslie stops, people who can see the ship, you can see ahead, probably maybe 50 to 60 feet away as the moon hits the water. There are two people in the rowboat and something in that rowboat. Celeste points her hand up, and you see a shooting star as it misses. No, 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 no.
Oh shit! Can I shoot a firebolt at one of them?
Am I also 60 feet away?
You guys, at this point, is what is your fireball? Is it 120?
Yeah, the firebolt is 120 feet. Yeah.
Okay. It will miss.
Okay.
You would have to, it will be like you need to roll in a little bit more in.
Okay. Oh, he'll just focus on getting that.
Mhm.
How far? So the ship's more than 120 feet away from me right now.
It's 100 feet from where you guys. It's like you almost need another 10 to 20 more
Oh,
feet.
okay.
That's it. But they are also rowing against you guys. So it's one of those things. Your rows against their rows.
There
But the
rose
one
against my wings.
there you go. Celeste once again does it, and it hits the side of the boat. It does slow them down.
Can I once I see that I'm close enough, could I cast Shatter on their boat that's trying to get
If you
away?
guys want to do it, go ahead and roll me your hits.
Question.
Okay. So we're in range now.
Yes.
Okay.
What's the question?
Since I'm technically flying, would I be able to get over to their rowboat faster?
What's your flying speed?
I think it's the same as my movement speed.
So your movement's 30?
Yes.
Let's see. You did the rowboat 30 feet. I'm going to assume that you're probably dashing.
Yes.
So that would be 60. You can get there technically almost quote unquote one more round. But because their ship their little rowboat has been hit. Natural 20. What's your
Oh,
what's
that's nice. So 2d10 is for crit, so that's 15 damage.
okay.
Out.
They
Unfortunately I
also
can't. Are you aiming for the ship or are you aiming for one of them?
One of the people, I suppose.
Okay. And what are you, Euphemia, aiming for?
basically aiming for the same spot where the star hit, and
Mhm.
that shatter has a 10-foot radius, so they're going to be in that radius, and that's the con save that they hit.
Okay. Both of them don't make the con save.
All right, then they're going to hear a ear-piercing loud noise.
At the same time, your firebolt hits one of the guys. I'm going to say the one that's back. As he starts to burn and gets this headache, the small boat starts to sink. Voren, you are now catch up to Celeste as she is now starting to swim again towards the ship or the small boat.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be staying with her and like wherever she goes, just so that she's not blindsided by anything by herself.
At this point, yes, Keezen and Glenn is still rowing. Nyx, you are now getting there as you see one of the guys on fire. The boat is sinking, and they're just like covering their heads because of this piercing sound, which you don't hear, but it looks weird.
I have a very, very awkward idea.
What is your idea?
Nyx would cast enlarge on himself, curl up into a ball, and dive bomb the ship like he's a giant cannonball.
Oh my god. Okay. Remember, okay, at your advantage or your point, you do see Celeste's back. It's right in between them. So where do you want to dive bomb?
He's gonna aim for the person, and I'm guessing there's one on each side of the bag.
Yes.
So he would aim for the person in front of the bag.
Okay, so we'll say the front part. Okay. Go ahead and just roll me a d20 plus your strength.
I'm gonna roll it as a. Okay. So. What is it? Wow.
It's okay. You do.
Actually,
it will be a plus because you made yourself larger, right?
I did enlarge.
Yeah. And what is that? A plus 1 or 2? 3? Something
Hold
like that?
on. Let me. It has advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. Nope, that's not yours. So it would be rolling with advantage.
Yeah, go ahead and roll again. Okay, much better. At this point, also when let's see, you guys are finally catching up to the Wind Dancer, the ones who are on the rowboat. Celeste and Warren is still swimming, and right behind you, beside you, the captain is there. She pulls out a weapon, and she aims for the one that you, Victor, put on fire. As she hits him, he slumps over. And then you guys see something fall from the sky as it hits the front of the small boat to the point where it flips.
Holy shit!
What in the fuck was that?
I think that was Nyx. How close to the rowboats at this point?
You guys are now trying to pass the ship, which their rowboat ended up being 70 feet away.
We're not close enough to the Wind Dancer yet, are we?
No. Oh no, you're passing the Wind Dancer. So from the Wind Dancer to the small vessel, to the small ship, it's 70 feet because they were still rowing.
I was going to attempt to jump from the rowboat and walk along the side of the Wind Dancer because I have my shawl on.
Oh, you could do that if you want.
Yep. That's what I want to do. So
you
you
do
just
the
see
spider climb.
Euphemia just run along the side of the ship to the front.
Would that
Or-
get us closer? If that would get
It's-
us closer, Victor would follow exactly. He would jump and just run horizontal along the ship.
She's just wanting to get closer range to see what's going on.
If we can get close, Euphemia, I can. If we can get within 30 feet, I can teleport myself to whatever's on that rowboat.
She'll nod.
And I feel like Magpie just kind of got left in the rowboat all by herself.
Keys and Glenn's in there with
Yeah.
them, or
I
Yeah,
thought that
they're
they were
right.
in the other one.
no? I don't think so. Probably at
there
least
was
one of
two-
them is probably in the boat that I was in. If you were in the same boat with me, at least either Keys or Glenn was with us.
Well, I thought there was 2 rowboats, and I thought you guys took one and they took the other one.
No, they hopped in the same one with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So there's at least one person from
Yeah.
the crew with you. Don't know who it is, but it's
But it's
at
somebody.
least one of them.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Voren, Celeste just stops and looks as it flips. Gotta get it. I gotta get it. And she looks exhausted. And she begins to start to swim again. At this point, the captain will actually touch the ship. And from you guys who are now on the deck running, you feel the ship kind of move a little bit. Almost kind of like if you had goosebumps and you kind of, do the chill.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear, or no, you actually see the captain as she leaps. What do they do to you? At this point, the sails kind of look like they sink, like being sad. And she will point forward, and the ship will start to go forward. Oh, and do me a favor. Pick up the ones in the water. As Warren and Celeste, you still continue. Something hits the water and starts to wrap around them. Warren, this is very odd.
Yeah.
As something picks you up from the water, as you see the ropes. And both of you guys are in the water, or in the ship. And the ship is now moving towards the capsize small boat. Which, Nyx, what are you doing?
As things are sinking,
Mm-hmm.
Nyx would be trying, because he's still, for a full minute, he's 9 foot tall, so he'd be trying to grab the bag and get up to the surface.
You do see as it capsizes, one of the men that was on fire starts to sink. The other one is now trying to swim for its life as you see the bag starts to sink into the water. You
Nyx's focus
My
would
lord,
be the bag.
you
over
have
the
a new
man.
follower.
you do reach for it. You grab it.
Euphemia will still keep running towards literally on the side of the boat of the wind dancer and just hold her hand out when she's close enough for Nyx.
Next you pop up. You do see the ship kind of coming to you. It's like when your eyes are adjusting. the man pops up and starts to swim away from you guys.
I see the man trying to swim away, right?
Mm-hmm.
I yell, "He's trying to get away!" as I point towards him.
Am I able to see the man?
Yeah, you're able to see the man.
Do I recognize them at all?
Oh yeah.
Is it one of the men that were on the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Magpie will growl to herself. How far away would I be from them?
At this point, if you wanted to, the robot will start to dock on the ship. The ship is actually pinging you guys up. The ship is now getting closer. Nyx, do you reach for Euphemia's hand?
Yeah, he would reach
Okay.
up because wet wings can't fly.
Yeah.
Correct. And the ship will actually help you guys as you see ropes kind of dancing around, trying to pick you both up. At the same time as Magpie, you see the man in the water because the man will turn around and kind of look. And at this point, he is about 20 feet from you guys,
Ooh.
from the ship.
Can I try shooting an arrow at him?
You can try, yeah. They will hit. As it hits his shoulder, he screams in pain, and one of the ropes begins to wrap around the guy as it starts to come into the ship. At this point, Nyx and Euphemia, you are on the ship, and Celeste comes towards you guys, and Celeste will look to you, Nyx. Thank you. As she grabs the bag and holds it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
He would nod to her.
I gently pat the banister that's we're close to. Said, "Good job, Nancer."
You almost feel a little wiggle in the ship. The man is now near all of you. The ropes are entangled as he still bleeds.
Is he still in
He
the
looks.
water?
No, he's on the ship right now.
Oh, okay.
The captain comes closer. Interesting. You didn't buy the rules, did you? Well, of course, looks can be deceiving. I probably don't have questions, but it seems that she does. Or them. She will look to Celeste. Ask you questions. Why? He spits out blood. Unless I was paid. Surprised I actually follow you and see you in the ship. The whole thing was to get you, not to get whatever that's in there. We picked the time and fame and all that. But you don't even know what's in here. No. But we know it's valuable.
Euphemia scowls.
You are one of the collectors, aren't you?
He spits again. Not really. We work for them. They don't like to get their hands dirty.
Well, you see what happens when you get your hands dirty. You end up burning and then sinking and dying, just like your friend.
Interesting. We would have got away. But hearing her scream, man, definitely scream like a bitch. He smiles.
Who was screaming like a bitch?
He nudges, like he will, because he's tied up, kind of look towards Leslie.
I think at this point, ooh,
Euphemia wants to beat ass. She wants to beat his ass so bad.
I think Victor would grab him by his collar and then bite into his neck. Do a vampiric bite.
Oh shit.
In front of everyone.
For everyone. Yep.
You see Victor picking up this man and take a bite in his neck. The man looks panicked and what the fuck? What is this? What the fuck? Get away from me. He starts to try to pull away from you as much as he can.
Euphemia's in shock.
Yeah, I'd be like, Victor, what the fuck?
Victor would lean back. Is there any reason to keep this fool alive?
I see no reason.
Euphemia's gonna look over to Nyx.
At that point, like, not fully, but Nyx's eyes would start, in a sense, starting to glow.
He stole from one of ours. He forfeited his life when he accepted that contract.
Well, if that's how you feel, shall I finish the job and show you?
I say
Next
let
was-
Celestine decide.
She took
was
the words
him.
right from my mouth.
Victor will push him down to his knees, kind of just wipe his mouth.
Celeste will slowly get up. So that was it. I am. What was that? She points to the sack. Some kind of job. He looks around. Yeah. Did they tell you anything else? Just to get you. Or that. Any other reason? He kind of looks around. If I tell you, do I live? Well, do I live?
Your fate is in her hands. It's her you wronged.
She gets to choose.
If it were me, you would already be dead.
Same here.
The captain in the background looks to all of you. And she's polishing her gun. Why are they after me?
That's what the captain said.
No,
Oh,
Was it
that's what
Celestine.
Celestine
Celestine?
says. What I heard, they want to bring you home. At this point, Celestine backs up. No, no. I can't. I can't deal with this. It's up to you guys. She would turn around and she starts to cry.
Euphemia's gonna give her a hug.
Nix would look over to the captain.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the rule for stealing from other crewmates being thrown overboard?
She nods. She taps the boat with her foot, and on the side, a board appears. Time to walk the plank.
Are there any rules that say we have to leave his arms intact?
She looks over. Trust me, you won't need them.
Especially with a little bit of blood. Victor will kind of just drip a couple drips in the water. I'm sure there's a lot of hungry sharks out there.
She you see the captain pull something out of her pocket. And then she puts her gun back into her side. Glenn and Keys look to each other. Oh, boy, you are in for something. She begins to shake her hands as you hear dice moving. Let's see what's your fate, huh? She squats down and she lets go. Shark, siren, sharks. You all at this time hear something moving in the water. Do you guys dare to look on the side?
All right, Nix would definitely look over.
I think Victor's looking.
Magpie would as
smiling.
well.
Yeah.
You see about a half a dozen fins in the water as they begin to circle. She picks up the dice and puts it back in her pocket. Sharks it is. The ropes begin to move. As a man can't help but move. Glenn and Keys kind of follow as this man is forced on the plank. Come on, we can cut a deal, yeah? I told you everything.
Wait, check his pockets for gold first. then toss him over.
Ooh. Any gold he has might be tainted.
What do you guys want to do? Do you want to check his pockets?
Absolutely. If he's getting
Check his
paid for
pockets.
this, I think we should be the ones who receive it, at least Celeste.
Yeah.
Victor will
Uh,
check his pocket.
Okay. You check his pockets and you find the 60 gold that's been promised, which you guys don't remember. It would have been in your rooms, but
Yep.
because, yeah. So 60 gold in the pockets, and there's a piece of paper that's been folded.
Ooh, taking that paper. Open it up and kind of have a glance real quick before.
Oh. There's a picture, like a wanted picture of Celeste. And instructions on the bottom saying if you get her or the sack, return to Feilu immediately.
Well, it seems they have the wanted poster and some instructions as well as the gold.
What were the instructions?
It says right here, if you find her, bring her back to Feilu, or the things she's carrying.
Do you really think you were gonna get back to Failu in that dinky little boat? You really are stupid.
He just spits in your direction.
Nix would look to the man forced on the plank.
You did agree to the rules when you entered the ship and set sail.
Slowly, the ropes start to unbind him. I hope they find you. And at this point, the plank actually moves, basically kick him off, and he lands in the water. The sharks go after him. And all you see is a pool of blood left.
How did you find us? How hell to pay?
Well, that's a hell of a way to wake up in the morning.
Hmm.
Good morning, everyone.
Money. Magpie's gonna look towards Celestine in the bag. You might want to check to make sure everything's alright and in one piece.
She kind of just wipes away a tear. Right now, I know it's fine. It's
Good then.
it's part of the magic. Well, we need to head back because we left a couple of people on the island, and of course we need to get the items. So in the meantime, you can sleep until the rest. It is almost 4 o'clock in the morning. And whatever they did, I gotta find what they did to this ship. So maybe take a nap. And she walks away and starts to head down, looking for Glenn, and Keys will follow to her as the ship kind of slowly goes back to where it was before. You guys are on
What
deck.
ship? Wonder if whatever it was, that's how they got into Celestine's room.
I'm not sure how they got in there, or how they
Neither
even
do
tricked
I.
the ship.
I had a feeling there was someone here. Kind of upset with myself I didn't suss it out sooner.
They were
Those
lucky
two
we
were
got
always
there in time.
whispering in the corners.
Did you notice them before? I had never noticed them.
Yes.
Based off of
Three,
that,
no dwarf and the halfling, they were the only two that seemed to be always huddled in corners whispering to each other. I never could figure out what it was.
based off of that, that means the crew's going to be another 2 people shy. We needed them.
Hmm.
Well, good riddance. We got Celesti's stuff back. That's all that matters.
Great.
Magpie's going to find a corner on the top of the deck and just kind of hunker down a bit.
The ship will finally stop. You're more near the island. Glenn appears. I'm gonna start to head one of these boats over there anyway. People hop off the ship, rowing back to shore. Leslie will pick up the sack. Just gonna go lay down.
Magpie will just kind of nod her head as she listens to how everybody's moving, but keeping her eyes closed. The rest would probably be a good idea.
Nix would look to everyone else and just be like,
I'm going to go ahead to my room and dry my wings.
I think I'm gonna go back to my room and get a little bit more sleep.
Fair enough. I think I'll do the same. Might as well sleep on the ship since we're already here.
That's what was suggested. I'm not going back to the island.
What is Warren doing?
Yeah, he'd probably go get some rest as well.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
Victor would head back to himself, to his room, and question why he did what he did. He's like, "Oh my god, why did I do this?"
the
Oh,
realization sinking in that he's now exposed himself to everybody on
Mhm.
that ship.
Yeah,
too early in the
he
morning.
exposed himself.
How am I going to explain this one? I'll
I
figure
think
it
the
out
whole
in the
time
morning.
Warren would have been like kind of looking at him a bit like sus, like,
Uh,
dude.
I I think just before she goes to bed, she'll put a hand on Victor's shoulder. She's just like, "We'll talk later. I'm too tired."
Yes, we'll talk in the morning. I'm sure I have some explaining to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk to you before I talk to the others. Maybe you have some insight.
All right. Good night. See you
Good
later.
night. See you in the morning.
She'll yawn and go to bed.
You guys, take your rest. And about 4 hours later, 5-ish, you guys wake up. You're already hearing movement around the ship. What do you guys want to do?
I'm assuming the movement around the ship would be like Glenn and Meg coming back with stuff to unload.
Yeah, and you do definitely see the female dwarf and female halfling.
Mhm.
They look concerned. And you see Leslie will come out and both of them will go up to her. You okay? She will nod. That's good. That's good. We won't bother you with too many questions, but hearing what Glenn told us, that was awful. And we heard commotion, but I was too. I had too much to drink. That the halfling says. And Dwarf, well, I can handle mine, but I just couldn't get up. It's all right. It's okay. Leslie will kind of smile to them, and then they will get back to what they were doing.
Magpie will, when she hears them like docking up to the boat, will try helping them unload what she can
It's
and help them
there's some
out.
crates, yeah. You do also see some people from the Isle helping. They have their own rowboats, and they are they're doing their trades and everything. And the captain you see talking to the Voodoo Queen on the island. And the Voodoo Queen will look whoever's above. Y'all take care. As you hear the booming voice coming from her. And
Magpie
trust
will
me,
give a small wave.
she nods to you. And trust me, if I would have caught them, the spirits would have tear them apart. Because at this point, I mean, where you can see her, she looks angry. But at the same time, she's still keeping her regal self. And she smiles. But you could definitely tell that that this happened near her island. That's not good. So you could just picture what she might be doing to their spirits at the moment.
They really are idiots.
Are those spirits around where I can see them or no?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Okay. At this
Damn.
point, no.
No.
The spirits you see, they are looks like they're doing some kind of ritual, right? But
Mhm.
and Laura comes next to you. You don't want to know. Mm-mm.
As long as they get what they deserve, it doesn't bother me.
What I saw, they were in a cage.
Well, whoever is next close to me by the party, and I just turn and it's just like, well, from what my information is that their souls are in a cage. Or their spirits.
For now. They're definitely going to reap what they sow. Like I said, they really are idiots. Even I know not to mess with things that are far beyond my reach. Why keep my hands to myself? Well, most of the time.
What is Brick and Victor doing? And Nyx.
I think Victor's just waking up.
Nix would have woken up and gone to help unload the rowboats. 'Cause he a big, strong fairy.
Yeah, I think similar. Warren would have woken up and help with anything. Knots,
Okay, so you,
ropes, whatever.
yeah, you guys would have heard the Voodoo Queen say that out loud.
Because who needs to carry things up while trying to climb when you can fly? Extra weight slowing me down.
As the last items are on the ship, people wave goodbye. The Voodoo Queen will just nod to all of you. And the ship takes off with, of course, Meg telling where to go.
Did you all ever figure out what was wrong with the ship?
The captain looks over. Apparently, they had some kind of small device. She takes it out of her pocket. It looks like a ring, a big giant ring, about the size of a palm of a hand. And in the middle, there is an orb. It doesn't work now, but during that time, it froze when dancer. Once I find the person who did this, they'll be held to pay.
Could have been possible it was the one that got burnt to a crisp.
Those idiots? No. You'd have to be clever to make something like that. They were not clever.
Now, this is magic and other things to it.
But do you think any of the rest of that group those two came with could have done it?
Possibility. That means they've been keeping an eye on my ship and what it does. And that does not set well with me. She smiles.
Yeah, keeping my hands to myself.
Well, our next destination should take us about a week.
Where are we heading?
We are going to be heading to a water temple. I'm looking for a special item within this temple. It's a orb that changes to a necklace. Once we find it, then we go to our last destination.
Understood. This temple. You said it's a water temple. But it will be on dry land, won't it? I would hope. Or should we be prepared for other things?
Oh, don't worry. We have it all covered.
Still would like to know what I'm getting myself into.
Well, we
But
always have to prepare,
Mm-hmm.
so always keep yourself prepared.
Guess it's a waiting for both. As though talking, every so often she'll kind of like glance over at Victor and to the
It's
rest of the group.
you see Victor coming up the stairs to wherever you guys are at now. Good morning.
Morning.
Do you say morning twice? Is it like second mornings?
I think so. It's the second morning now. Or
This
is it
should be more
afternoon?
my morning. 4 o'clock
Yes,
in the morning is not my morning.
yes, it's a bit too early. Any
Okay.
idea where we're headed? What we're
A water
doing?
temple.
Ah, wonderful. How long till we get there?
About a week.
All right, so we have to keep ourselves busy for a week.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure that there'll be plenty to do.
I'm sure we'll find something to do. Euphemia, can I speak with you for a moment?
Of course.
He would just take her to the side. Um, so we all know what happened earlier this morning when I was very tired and very hungry.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of it?
Well, quite surprised because I didn't think you would do something that drastic.
Well, I didn't eat all of the day before. And he really pissed me off, honestly, and it's the first time I've ever done that. It felt
Fed off of a
liberating,
person.
honestly. Hmm. Yes, I've never fed directly on a person.
Hmm.
It's usually always given to me.
Well,
Do you think I could play it off, or do you think I should come clean? What's your
I
idea?
would say best case would for you to come clean because they're not going to forget.
Yes, you're not going to forget. So technically, I've never lied to anybody. They never asked. They never found out. So as long as I am honest, then there's no problem.
Some people might be a little bit more hesitant, but being honest shows the trust. So hopefully, at least showing that much may help a little bit.
Yes, I was thinking so. I had a little bit of time to mill it over. It's about time that people at least understand a little bit more about me, I suppose. However, if it wasn't for this little slip up, perhaps it'd been a little longer, but I think eventually it would have been found out.
Probably.
Hmm. All right. I was surprised that everyone was willing to feed them to the sharks.
Well, they provoked first.
That is true. But
It's
everyone
not.
seemed kind of eager to. It impressed me quite a bit, honestly.
Well, if you remember, it wasn't. You remember what Nick said before we left?
It's needless
'Cause then
violence, right?
that wasn't needless. There was a reason to it.
Was there really?
I
Couldn't we
mean,
have put him in a brig and sent him off?
it could have, but that's more than merciful, and probably the captain would have still killed him in either way. If we didn't do, or if we didn't do anything.
Fair. I mean, I have no problem with what we did, honestly.
Yeah, he
I
deserved
was,
it, and now his spirit is going to be tortured along with the other person for eternity.
yes, all right. Well, it seems we are all on the same page. I'm quite happy with the results. Yeah, well, good, good. Excellent. All right. Well, should anyone ask any questions, then I'll answer.
Well, you can just gather them around now. You
Do you
can
think
use.
so? I,
It
I
might be
should gather
better.
people around. I suppose I could.
It just to get them all on the same playing field and understand.
All right.
I mean, I'm talking about like our group. You don't have to get the crew involved.
Yes, I'm talking about just us.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps over breakfast. I'm sure it's being made at the moment.
Probably a good idea.
All right. Well, then breakfast it is.
Yeah, of
Well,
course, breakfast is getting made, so you guys can head down to the eating hall.
Don't worry, I believe in you. And she'll give him a gentle pat on his shoulder.
And he'll smile. I'm sure everything will go just fine.
As you guys head towards the eating hall, it's changed a little bit from that nice fine dining that you had for the past couple weeks. Now looks like a tavern. There's different seatings so you can sit up, stools, or there's a place like in the corners so you can all gather and sit, or you can sit somewhere in the middle.
Magpie's definitely gonna look a lot more relaxed in here and not have to sit on her hands.
Looks quite nice in here.
Looks like what I'm more used to.
Has anyone seen Brick? Nix?
I would
Next was
probably,
upstairs.
yeah, probably be going down a bit after you all, after I'm done helping. Show up a little bit later and take a seat by you all. We'll stay kind of silent, occasionally looking over at Victor curiously, see if he's gonna say anything.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Celestia actually has the sack next to her.
Well, I'm glad you've been reacquainted with the egg, or, well, should I say the egg? The thing that you're carrying.
Yes, it's fine. I checked it. Thank you all. Sorry I didn't thank you this morning.
A lot happened. For something like that, honestly, don't even need to.
Everyone's adrenaline was pumping.
Mhm.
Honestly, if you didn't catch them when you did, they'd have been long gone now. Who knows to where?
Eventually it would have returned to me, but I don't know. She kind of just rubs her head. I talked to the Voodoo Queen, and eventually I will have to, well, I guess after all this, I would have to make the journey afterwards. Before your guys' eyes, you see it change, the sack changing color. It was a very light gray, now a dark gray. She looks over. I know, I know. So eventually I will have to make my way to this cave. So and afterwards, she just shakes her head. Sorry, I could. I just have a lot of things in my head right now.
It's all right.
She gave us a lot to think about. And for those who ask questions, don't think the answers are something easily to carry.
She nods.
One of the things that she did say, we have to trust each other. Because if one of us goes, leave us wide open. And it will all fall apart.
She nods.
So lean on us. Do our best to keep you and the thing safe.
She nods.
Well, since we're all on the subject of trust, if Nix has arrived, if not, he'll wait.
No, Nix would be there just sitting
Okay.
quietly.
Well, since we're all on the subject of trust, does anyone have any particular questions of me as to what happened yesterday?
Yes, I have
Feel free.
76 of them.
Sure, absolutely.
Very specific.
I'm joking.
Uh,
But what the hell?
I
Well,
kind of agree with Warren on the hell part, but other than that,
well, I just think there's things about me that I don't flash out in the open, if that makes sense. There's things to me, I'm sure with each of us that we don't really necessarily want to talk about all the time. But um, I suppose with me, in particular, you could think of me as half elf plus additional things, and those additional things are I have a specific diet that I enjoy.
Uh huh.
Mhm.
Like the
Just
man this
say it,
morning.
Victor.
Eh,
Just
all
say
right.
it. You're skirting around.
Yes, yes, I'm skirting around the issue. I am, even though I'm half elven, I'm what you call Dampier. Not sure if you know what that means.
not a clue, to be quite honest.
All right. Have you ever heard of vampires?
Those I've heard of.
Yes. Well, think of Dampier as essentially their offspring. Um, so let's see. So my
Spec-
father. Hmm?
I was about to say specifically between a vampire and a person who's still living.
Yes, indeed. Yes. My father is a vampire. This is a very guarded secret amongst my family, and of course, the entire town and city that I'm from. We don't. We grew up having to keep the secret, if that makes sense, because um, well, they can't just be giving out that they are these creatures of the night. Otherwise, uh, people would be up in arms. But anyways, a Dampier is essentially the offspring of a vampire and a mortal. And my mother was mortal at one point, a mortal human woman, until she was recently turned by my father. However, I was born Dampier because my mother was not yet turned. So I'm sort of half vampire, so to speak. Now, various Dampiers, it's kind of like an in between state between life and undeath. So I inherit various traits from my father, and then, of course, the various traits of life. I also, I don't necessarily get all their strengths. I don't get all their weaknesses either. That makes sense. Vampires are unable to walk in the day unless, circumstances. And vampires typically cannot eat mortal food however I can. I quite enjoy mortal food. However, I have inherited the thirst of my father. So from time to time, I need that as sustenance.
Mm.
Even though food will sustain me.
The raw steak. It makes sense now.
Yes, yes, the raw steak. It was a calculated maneuver on my part. It has blood in it, which is what I crave.
Can you turn into a bat?
And no, I could not turn into a bat. Not yet.
Euphemia kind of chuckles a little bit.
Yet.
I'm not sure. Well, I mean, if I learn a spell, I should be able to turn myself into a bat, but right now I cannot.
I see.
Hmm.
My blood is
yes,
off limits.
Oh, I don't wish to drink your blood, or I'd have drank of you already. I confess, yesterday was the first time I ever drank from a person. Usually it's given to me. And the
I see.
food that I purchase or otherwise get.
So being away from home,
Hmm.
how difficult is this for you now?
Well, this is quite. Well, it's not entirely difficult. Well, actually, life is much more difficult than it used to be, honestly. At home, I had pretty much anything I wanted, unless I just had to do whatever my father wished, help him out, and help my mother. Of course, my education was of the utmost importance, which is why I spent most of my life sheltered away, attending magic school, and handling certain affairs for my father.
I see. Are
Yes.
you
But
sensitive
out
to
here,
silver?
silver, no, not sensitive to that or to sunlight.
Garlic?
Anything we
He
should
says
be
kind of
aware
like
to
jokingly.
be?
What was that, magpie? No to garlic,
Anything,
by the way.
anything that we should be aware to keep away from you?
I suppose I don't know how I would behave if I did not have sustenance in a very long time. I have never been there, honestly.
Hopefully you don't ever have to feel that. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. But I mean more things that might actually hurt you or kill you, things to keep away.
No, honestly, I've inherited all the strengths of. I haven't inherited any curse like to silver or running water. That's another one. Some vampires they can't cross running water.
Do you have to be
Um,
invited into a room?
Nope, I do not have to be invited in. Things of that nature. I have a lot of the advantages, um, with a little bit of the curse. I'm able to. I can walk up walls. Um, I can hang upside down on the wall with just my feet. But
Yeah, I
people who do
remember
that with
that trick.
spells. Also, I don't breathe at all. I don't have to.
So you're
Oh,
dead?
that's handy.
I'm kind of dead, a little bit, but not really.
Do you have a heart?
I do.
Okay, and it
I
still
don't know if it
beats.
beats. I don't know if it beats actually.
Oh, someone ought to check that, because how are we supposed to tell if you're, like, dead if you don't have a pulse?
His heart does beat.
I suppose I do have a pulse.
Good, that's good to know.
But yes, I don't need to breathe, and I think that's about it, really.
I don't really care that you're a vampire or dampier, I should say. I'm sorry.
This is not a vampire.
I do. I wish I'd had this information yesterday.
Why yesterday specifically?
Well, I was just
Just out of
asked
curiosity.
by the Voodoo Queen if I knew a vampire or a werewolf. And I said no, and I did. Or I do.
Oh, interesting. Why did she ask you that in particular?
There's something about the cards.
I see. Well, the Voodoo Queen is powerful. She apparently knew exactly what I was.
Oh, perhaps she was just, I guess, nudging me in the right direction.
Hmm. You know, this is so relieving if you don't care. But the only thing I ask is if you don't go spreading the word, it's not necessarily accepted in a lot of places.
Who the hell would we tell?
I don't know. But like I said, it's a closely guarded secret of my family.
DM, before we
It's
go
also your business.
too far, I was trying to be deceptive. Should I roll for deception or just we can just roll with it?
I'm sorry. What were you being deceptive about?
About like Victor was like, why would she ask about a vampire? And I just said because of the
Okay, yeah,
cards.
go ahead and roll me a deception check. Okay. Victor, it's up to you if you want to roll insight, or just have it,
I'll roll it just to see if he picks
Okay.
up anything.
Could I also roll insight? Because Magpie's a paranoid person.
If he doesn't
She's
pick up
just
at all.
generally checking the vibe of the room, like a lot of the time when people are talking.
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, he's basically telling you what happened. You guys believe him?
Do you know any werewolves?
I know of some, yes.
Warren would
Can
just
I
shake his
think
head.
back and can I think back to see if I know any werewolves?
I'm sure we
I w-
wouldn't
I
you know
was
because of our continent?
Yeah, I mean, I would say because the fact that you guys are hunters, you would know werewolves, but your parents would be like, no, you guys cannot go on this. Especially, werewolves are very dangerous.
Bestial.
Yeah, they don't care. I mean, it's like great example. If you had a best friend, they become a werewolf. There's no way of changing them.
Bringing them
Their
back.
mind exactly.
I think Euphemia would bring that up. It's just like, I have not seen one in person quite yet, but from what my parents have told me, they are very dangerous. And there's no way of getting them. If you have like a family member or a friend, there's no way of getting them back.
Hey DM. Question.
Hey, player.
So didn't we discuss that wasn't there some wars between for territory with
Mm,
The
was
vampires and
was it
werewolves.
was it lichens though instead of
no, it was werewolves, werewolves and
werewolves?
vampires.
Yeah.
Lycans themselves tend to actually help because their enemies are werewolves. Because there's a story behind that.
Okay. And Victor would know some of this stuff between like war between
Mm-hmm.
like okay, so he'll
And
mention it.
Euphemia would know this too.
Yep.
Since her family has to deal with it majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially our continent, what's it called? It's called Kinnereth?
Kennereth.
Kinnereth. So essentially our continent to Kinnereth, it is it's actually has quite a few various types of people: werewolves, lycans, and there has been territory disputes for, I would say, probably centuries, um, going back and forth, changing hands. And if I remember, the further you go into Kinnereth, you can come across some interesting territories.
If you go further into the west of the country, yes.
But yes, those do exist.
I'm just saying in general, because my family has to go to the west of Kennereth all the time.
And Brick, hearing vampires, werewolves, lycans. What?
Dampiers.
Dumpiers, yep.
Yeah, he's just like, okay, whatever.
But yes, any other particular questions that you wish to know? I assure you, I mean, you no harm, none of you. None whatsoever. I haven't even had a single thought of, I haven't fed on any of you, honestly.
That's fair enough. Like you said before, we all have our own secrets we keep to ourselves.
That's good.
Doesn't
It feels
bother me
good.
any, at least.
Well, it feels good to finally get this out in the open. I didn't expect for it to be so soon, but I did what I did yesterday and could not be ignored. So, if we're going to travel together, then this is what you need to know about me. At least in part, there's still things that I wish to not reveal as of yet.
You should
Speaking
probably
of,
be
there's
careful, though.
What do you mean?
Doing what you did early this morning in front of the wrong people could probably be bad.
Oh, absolutely, of course. Yes, I would not. I would not make that mistake again. Trust me.
At this point, and you said, I won't make that mistake. You kind of realize that you did in front of the captain, Glenn, Keys,
Yes.
the ship.
ship.
I'm sure the ship already knew, honestly.
Yeah, I think the ship already knew.
A little flicker of light out of nowhere.
Yes, we figured you knew, ship.
While we're on the subject, since we are going to be working together and traveling together and the like, does anyone else have any other secrets they want to share that might, I don't want to say cause harm to the rest of the party, but that we ought to be aware of? Deadly allergies, weaknesses, things like that that we should be aware of to keep away from other people, or
No, not that I know of.
Nix would straighten up a little bit in his seat.
I guess if we're going to be fully trusting each other, you felt a little tidbit. As I've stated before, I'm not a normal barbarian. And I have made a pledge to the Raven Queen. But for that pledge, it is almost an eternal servitude for me, as I am the Raven Queen's persona of war.
damn. Not expecting that.
Servitude for
But
power.
that's why I don't make bargains if I can't avoid them.
bargain or death in my situation. I took a deal.
Fair enough. In a situation like that, I can't blame you. Does this come with any sort of warnings that we should be aware of? Like, I assume when that ripple happened, hopefully shouldn't go around touching you or trying to break you out or whatever that was.
Yeah, let's just say in a small sense, Euphemia got really lucky. Terrible flashbacks of what happened back then. Since I left the Feywilds, I haven't been back.
It's hard to go back to places you don't have good memories from. Well, or where a really bad memory overshadows everything else.
Some point I probably should make a trip.
Nix would hold up his hands and start counting.
I'm pretty sure. What she's going. Is it coming? There's an event that happens. Probably make my way there at some point.
Magpie's gonna think back to the conversation she had with the Voodoo Queen. And she'll kind of glance between Celestine and Nyx, wondering which one they're talking about of having to make a journey they'll follow them on. She's assuming Celestine,
Celeste.
but yeah. Sorry.
Nix would still be sitting at the table counting his fingers. He's now lost in thought about this.
Seems like everybody has something they need to do. Makes me wonder what it is that we're supposed to do together.
Yes, I agree. I'm curious about the others that we have yet to find. How do they fit in this as well?
Who knows? I have a feeling fate is being tampered with for ill or for gain. All paths are going to cross one way or another. Just wish we had a little bit more of a direction to go in.
As you guys finish your breakfast throughout the day, doing chores, whatnot. Next few days, continue on your journey. And at some point, the ship will stop. as Meg is looking at the maps and kind of looking around. She kind of rubs her head and shakes it off. I need all of you to throw me Constitution saving throws.
Oh no.
Well then.
Who am I missing? All right.
Yeah, I think that's everybody.
All of you get a slight headache.
You method actors, I still have a headache.
About 500 feet from the ship begins to bubble. The captain walks and touches the railing. Shit. And at that point, we'll stop. And we'll see
If-
what happens.
Fucking knew it.
It's
I
Cthulhu!
I saw the
Oops.
cliffhanger. I was like, don't light.
Oh, I did too, because I also looked at the time and I was like, yeah, we're about to wrap up, and we're going to wrap up on a fucking cliffhanger.
Of course. Come on. You know me guys by now. Duh. But yeah, thank you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. Spelsy, aka Euphemia,
Mm-hmm.
welcome to your prestige class, the Spirits of Voodoo.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Dun, dun, dun.
I would say this from now to whenever. Prestige classes will come through. It's up to you if you want to pick it up or not. But just remember, some of the prestige classes might not fit your character. So therefore might be just a thing that I made up. But congratulations to prestige class. We'll see what happens.
And what did you call it?
What did I say? Voodoo of spirits? Spirits of voodoo.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice.
So we'll see what happens next Sunday at 6:30 p.m. EST. I was going to say PST. EST. We'll see. I don't know what's in the water. What's in the water? Thank you guys.
What's in the water?
Thank you guys
Yes.
for joining. We'll see what happens. Have a good night. Adios.
Thank you, everyone, for hanging out and watching. Thank you for the new follows and for anybody that checked out the stream for the first time. You can get caught up with all of the episodes on YouTube. And also tomorrow at some point, we'll be having our recap show for this episode where we'll kind of chat and hang out and talk about it and have one of the players on the show as well. But thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you all next time. Peace.